With a new week just round the corner, let's talk about Bitmine immersion technologies yet again. We're in a position now where on Friday we've seen this one fall by around 4.3%. And the question now going into next week is, where do we go from here? As we have a really interesting trend now forming on the charts, right? We've got a few things to pay attention to. And if you ask me, we're now coming to a point where things may be about to hit a significant make or break moment, simply just based on what we're seeing here. I'm going to be giving you a few of my thoughts and opinions for going into this week. At the same time, guys, please do remember this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Do make sure to do your own research. However, I'm going to be sharing my personal thoughts. If you do enjoy these videos, make sure to give them a like and do subscribe. It tells me that you guys want to see more on this company. So again, if you like it, you know what to do. Anyway, let's jump straight in and let's acknowledge briefly what we saw in the last week. So we are now coming to a very interesting point here with BMNR, and you could make the argument that we are coming to this point now where we're beginning to see this bull flag pattern starting to form, and you could be arguing that we're also coming to a point where we might see this break out. As you can see over the last couple of days, we're coming now into this concentrated point, right? We're seeing lower highs and also lower lows over the last few days. However, we are now finding a relatively stable bottom briefly for the Friday trading session, which was around 54.16, and this is going to be a level to pay attention to in the next week. Now, with the growth that we've seen in the last couple of weeks and months, one thing that I would expect going into the new week is more volatility. And of course, you guys should be aware anyway that a play like this is going to be relatively high risk and potential high reward anyway. So if you're expecting a stable play, obviously this is not likely to be the one. But the question is, what holds now? What holds? And is this going to be potentially the new bottom that we see here? Well, hopefully we would like to see this, as we're looking to now try and lock in some of these gains that we did actually secure on this upwards trend. If we can begin to do that, things aren't looking too bad. So I really want to see this ideally remain the bottom, right? This 54 level roughly. If we can see that remain at the bottom, we could be very good. Now, going into the end of the trading day on Friday, you're going to be seeing a slight bit of upwards momentum. Let's zoom into the 5-day chart actually to highlight this even more. So we saw that gap down on open on the Friday session. However, we did start to recover slightly towards the end, and actually the end of the day finished quite a bit higher than where we started, right? We saw this massive drop, but obviously after that, we started to recover slightly. So if this continues into the pre-market session and the rest of the week, we could be looking at very, very optimistic things. However, for me, we're really going to want to start to find that level of support right now. We're going to need to start to find this, right? Because we're looking to try and lock in some of this growth still. So really, this is just one of these stories here where, as you will know, and if you've been watching the channel over the last couple of days, I've said this for some time, we are now coming to a point where this could arguably be our make or break level of support coming on. We've seen this level hold up as a support quite a few times in the past. One notable time is actually around here. You can draw the line straight away. You can see on this little red line here, right? If we bring it over to here, we saw this level briefly hold as a support back here. What happened after we saw that? Well, we saw a massive rise. Now, can we obviously guarantee this? No, we can't. This is not guaranteed, and it's not something that we can 100% confirm. But what we want to see now, especially after seeing this brief dip, we want to see this remain as a level of support now, and we want to see if we can sort of slingshot and move back and break out to the upside. From there, we're going to need to break above levels at 60, 61, we're going to need to break above levels at 65, 68, and ideally past our recent high into the 70 range. Obviously, I wouldn't expect all of this in the next week. It is possible, but I wouldn't expect it all in the next couple of days. However, if we can slowly begin to get the momentum moving in the right direction, things could be looking very good on the technical side, right? But first, we're going to need to see this one, of course, remain where we are, at least remain above this level of 54.50, roughly. If we can do that, we could be looking to push upwards. A push upwards tomorrow would be a very strong sign, and into the next couple of days, that would be a very strong sign going forwards, but of course, we can't take it for granted. But if I was to say what I was looking for here, Best case scenario, we're going to see this one slowly start to break out to the upside based on what we are seeing. Worst case scenario, we're going to continue to fall and go past previous lows. And as I've said before, guys, I know it's one of these cases where I'm providing both sides of the story, but I'm not trying to give you guys an opinion, right? That's for you guys to make up. My opinion here is I want to see this one ultimately move to the upside, but I am giving you the levels to the downside as well, so that you guys can see at both levels that I'm looking at and where I would sort of readjust my strategy and where I would reconsider things. But based on all that we're seeing now, if there was a level that I'm looking for this one to move, it's upwards, right? Again, a very high risk, high reward entry point, but it's going to be a very high risk, high reward play anyway. You should know that. However, we are now coming to a point where it's a previous level of support. We've seen that in the past, right? We've seen it work as a previous level of support, arguably here as well, and to a degree here. So it is a previous level of support, right? Is this meaning that it's going to hold up now? Well, not necessarily, but we would love to see that. If we do see that, things are looking strong. Things are looking very strong into the next week. If we're able to see this one continue to go up from there, even better. So if you're looking to play it risky, could be a very good point to get in. But of course it is going to be a risky play, and that's all that I would say. So I definitely urge on the side of caution. Depends how much risk you're willing to take on. But yeah, I think this week could really be quite an optimistic one here. I'm looking to see this one really break above 60, then on to 60, 62, something like that. I wouldn't expect too much from this week. However, if we finish the week above 62, 63, that to me is going to be a very significant win. Just my opinion, but that's what I think based on what we're seeing here. Let me know what you think in the comment section too. Thank you so much for your time, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, share it as well, and I hope I will see you again soon. Goodbye for now. See you later. You guys are ready to get serious about trading for less than the price of a coffee every day? I've got to tell you about the new Patreon page that I have just launched. That's right, guys, I have a new Patreon. I'm going to be sharing everything on here, from my personal stocks that I am watching to pre-market updates, as well as a Discord group which I have started. It's going to allow you to access similar-minded, like-minded people who are also interested in sharing their knowledge about the markets. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff over here, guys. There's going to be a lot of exclusive content coming in the next couple of weeks, but do bear in mind, for most of the tiers, spots are limited. The Market Scout, where you'll gain access to the Discord, prices will change after 150 members. At the moment, guys, I'm limited for time, so the Trader's Edge course and above, we're limiting the courses even lower, right? There's a limited amount of people who can join. At the same time, depending on the level of mentorship that you want, we have prices going all the way up from 1450 to the highest tiers over here that you can see. Again, if you're looking to take your journey to that next level, on these middle tiers, this is personally the one that I would recommend, even though it's not the most expensive. It costs less than a coffee every single day, and the amount of information that you'll get here, in my personal opinion, is absolutely worth the value. At the very least, guys, you can become a member for free. The link is down in the description, the comment section, and the bio. Just give it a look and see what you think. And of course, feel free to sign up if you're looking to take your journey even further. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the video.